So this morning I'm asking, state your purpose. Why are you here? Why are you here? State your purpose. So that's what this sermon is about this morning, stating your purpose. Why are you on this earth plane? Why are you here? And so all of us have this toolbox when we come to earth plane. Not a toolbox like you have in your homes, but it's a toolbox similar to that. But it's not in a box like that. It's in your soul. It's in your spirit. You have this toolbox. When you hit the earth plane, you have this toolbox with all these tools in there to do what you need to do on this earth plane. You're born with this toolbox. You grow with this toolbox. All the tools that you need to navigate this world, you have those tools in your toolbox. As your child grows and as you grow, how did you cultivate those tools? Or did you forget those tools? What happened with those tools? Sometimes the parent helped cultivate them, and sometimes the community helped cultivate them. I remember we often used to say that we as African American was in a community. The community raised our children, and because a lot of our parents had to work, so the community raised our children, and the community watched out for the children and see where they went and where they go. I used to say, by the time I get to the end of the street, somebody would know where I'm going in my house, because somebody would have let them know, because everybody just was there. It's a community raising a child. And so I want to ask you, what happened with your toolbox? Did somebody help you with that toolbox? Did you have a community? Did you have, you could not have a big wide community, but you could have a community of your family. Some of you who immigrated here, your family immigrated here, had big families, and everybody came, and so that they were your family who helped you with your toolbox, because the parents went out to work, so the grandparents or someone helped you understand what you were about. So they were the one helping you with your toolbox. So I asked this morning, can you state your purpose on this earth plane? Can you state your purpose on this earth plane? Or are you so busy trying to find your purpose on this earth plane? A lot of us are still trying to find our purpose. And I have a lot of clients come to me and they say, Reverend Coverson, do you think my life will get better? So that's a good question. Will my life get better? Now you have that toolbox to make your life better. Those tools in that toolbox to make your life better. I can say, well, Spirit will say that life will get better. But if you don't utilize those tools, it won't get better. It's up to you to get your life better. You might ask, will my purpose, will I find my purpose as I grow older? But you have to look within you for the purpose, because that purpose is within you. And then you might ask another question. Is there something wrong with me? I don't seem to be moving. I don't seem to be able to take care of my life and keep my life flowing like it should. Those are all the questions that you may ask as you are trying to navigate this world. But you have the tools in your toolbox. And I'd like to ask you this morning, are you a spiritual champion? The purpose of a growing spiritual champion, as a child grows, you help parents and family help that child to grow spiritually. A lot of times that child is shared, people share with that child about their home vibration or where their child is. They share with that child, and so that child goes spiritually. A champion. You see a spiritual champion. A lot of times you see little kids singing in the church or something. You say, "Oh, that's going to be a preacher," because the way they sing or the way they talk. And so that's a spiritual champion. You say it's going to be a spiritual champion. So what is a spiritual champion? How do you know what a spiritual champion is? Now, when those athletes get on TV from the Bears and all the professional teams. And then the young athletes from the high school, and they get on TV, they won the championships, and they get on TV and they just like their chest all full, and they talk about how great they are and how great those teams are. And you think those are athlete champions, those are champions. But what is a spiritual champion? How do you become a spiritual champion? What are you doing to become a spiritual champion? Are you working hard to become a spiritual champion? You may not never be on TV, but it's the same kind of rush. It's the same kind of feeling when you're growing and when you're developing, when you know. And a spiritual champion in your life, not in the lives of everybody else, but a spiritual champion in your life is flowing evenly. Things are moving evenly in your life. That is a spiritual champion. And so when I talk about a spiritual champion, I'm not trying to make you out of one of those heroes on the like a team has, but I want you to be in connection with how a spiritual champion often might feel. And a spiritual champion often may feel like that person felt on that as he got up on that TV, in front of that TV, to talk about how he won and how he dealt with that winning. But how do you feel as a spiritual champion? Are you a spiritual champion now? How is your lives flowing? It's not for me to say. It's for you to say. How are your lives flowing? Today, can you say that you're growing? Can you say that you are in control of your lives? Can you say that your lives are producing the way you wanted to produce, that you're putting in what you need to put in? Are you saying you believe, and are you saying you're connected to that God within you? You're connected to that God within you. Not a God outside of you, but a God inside of you. Are you connected to that light? And so when somebody talks to you, can they see that light sometimes? Can they feel that energy? Can they just feel that energy where they feel so relaxed and they feel so good just being in your presence and talking to you? Do they feel like, boy, that's, I felt so good talking to that person. That was a wonderful conversation. They may not know what you said, but they just feel good after that conversation. You made them feel so good. They've had a healing of a sort. And so we want to identify a spiritual champion. You need to see how you identify as an individual, as a spiritual champion. Are you trying to be the best committed to your purpose? All of you have a purpose on this earth plane, I hope. And if you haven't found your purpose, don't worry about it. Just keep looking. Don't get despondent. Don't feel like give up. Don't feel disconnected. Just keep looking. Say, I know that I am a spirit. I have that energy inside of me, that I know my purpose. Your purpose may not be that you're a grand marshal, that you're the mayor of Chicago. That may not be your purpose. Your purpose might be that you're just sitting at somebody's bed every day reading to them and making them feel good. Isn't that wonderful? Just to be able to bring love to people, compassion, to be able to walk the streets and somebody feel good about you, to feel compassionate with you walking, that as you pass them, they sense of energy of peace. I remember I walked into the bank yesterday and I was out there, everything. I don't know if it happens to you or is it happening because I'm getting older, but everything is getting harder to work. I was out there by that machine trying to get my money out of it. And so I'm like, you have to turn the card a certain way and all that. I'm like, oh. And I kept putting the card in and kept saying something else. And they said English, Spanish, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, what? I just want to get my money out. And so I went in the bank and I went on to the teller. I said, let me go to the teller. This is what I know to do, to go to that teller and tell her what I wanted, they'll give it to me. So that's what I did. So I walked back I was walking out, and the banker came up to me and said, how are you? I said, I'm fine. And I said, how are you? He said, he's fine. He said, oh, well, he said, well, he said, I just felt the sunshine about you. And so I walked over just to say hello, because I felt that sunshine. I felt that peace. And I said, wow, that's great. And so he talked to me. So I didn't have time to talk because I had to walk a long distance yet. So I talked a little bit, then I had to move on. I said, if I come, he works at another bank. I said, if I come to that bank at some point, I'll come by, let you know I'm around. I said, but I had to move on. So, but anyway, I felt good. It made me feel good that someone moved from their point of origin, where they are, and come to where I am and say hello, because they were just there trying to practice with other bankers to see what tools they needed. This. He was trying to see what additional tools he needed in his toolbox to make him a better banker. Now listen to that. Now, what tools do you need in your toolbox to make you a better spiritualist, a spiritual person? What tools do you need? Do you ever think about that? Do you come into church to see what tools that you need, or do you just come to sit here a few minutes just to say you came to church? Or do you say, I'm going to see what tools that I can have or develop, that I can become a better person and I can navigate this world better? As I think about being a champion, I think about what tools, there's so many tools you need, but I just want to share a few tools as I end this conversation with you this morning. When I think about my toolbox, and I think about my purpose. And what are all things that I have in that toolbox? I should have my purpose. I should have my dreams about life in that toolbox. I should have compassion in that toolbox. I should have love in that toolbox. I should have charity in that toolbox. And I should have a positive attitude in that box. And I should have a vision, a spiritual vision, a vision of what I want to be spiritually and what I want to do on this earth plane spiritually. I should have the knowledge that I need to sacrifice, and things may happen to me and I should not be stunned by them. It's a sacrifice to get where I want to get on this earth plane as a spiritual person. I should have harmony in this toolbox. I should have lack of fear in this toolbox. And I should have honesty in this toolbox. I can go on and on to see what's in this toolbox as we grow on this earth plane. I can go on and on, but I don't have enough time left on this earth plane to go on. And that's just what I said. I don't have enough time left on this earth plane to go on and on, because the list is so long. The list is so deep. And the list should be dealt with great thoughtfulness. Thoughtfulness. What do I need? Thoughtfulness. Your needs may differ from my needs, so I got to be thoughtful about what I need to be spiritual on this journey. So I say to you this morning, this is your journey. Each one of you have your own purpose. There may be some similarities in there, but they are not the same purpose. So it's not something that you can duplicate or replicate. It's something that you may develop. And I'll leave you with that this morning. Bless you.